Today on In the Wood Yard, we've got a firewood delivery. It's going to a restaurant. People got to eat. I got to get them the wood so they can make the meat. Here we go. So this delivery is going to a restaurant that I sell wood to. I only go there about 3, maybe 4 times a year. They don't go through a lot of wood because their smoker that they use runs on natural gas, LP, whatever it is. They only use the wood to create the smoke. So they've got the chamber that is where the meat is and where the heaters are. There's an area down below that where all the gas is burned. There's a little flame across the bottom, but then they got a chamber in the back where they put the smoke, and that's basically what creates the smoke for the meat, to smoke the meat. And they smoke turkey and ribs and brisket and stuff like that. The guy that runs the place has been a chef his whole life. And when I first started selling wood to him, I told him, you know, I've got hickory, I've got cherry, because he mentioned about smoking meat. He says, oh, we don't need any of that. I says, well, are you smoking meat? He says, yeah. He said, the only thing I don't want is pine. He said, I have used everything. I have used oak, I have used cherry, I've used hickory, I've used ash. He said, I have used maple, everything. He said, it doesn't matter. He said, I think it's a big hoax that people think they have to have hickory or they have to have cherry or they have to have whatever kind of wood. He said it all smokes the meat, and he said it all tastes about the same. He says there may be a little bit of difference, but not really. And he was telling me, and I think I might have mentioned this on another video, there was a guy that proved to people that what you use to smoke your meat with doesn't matter. If I remember right, he used cardboard or something like that, something you would never expect, just to show people. So he wanted to prove to people it doesn't matter, and he ended up winning the competition. This was some big national competition thing. He didn't even use wood. Well, it was wood byproducts. So this is a mixed hardwood here. We're going to throw it in. We need 1 face cord, 1 rick, 1 rank, 1 roll, 1/3 of a cord into the truck, and we're going to go deliver it. And then I stack it for these people too, because they're a restaurant and they're always busy. So I can back right up to the rack and I put it right in the rack for them. So the guy that buys this is also a firewood customer of mine for his house because he has a fireplace. So that's how I actually first got him as a customer, was delivering wood to him personally. So the thing that I guess I want to bring up about this is that no matter what you're doing in your firewood sales or delivery, everyone's a customer and they have potential to bring you more customers. I get a lot of referrals, and I'm sure a lot of you that sell wood do the same thing. So that's why I always hand out a business card or 2 or 3 to the first, if it's a first delivery to a person. And if I get there and it's a person I've delivered wood to in the past, I always ask them, hey, got anybody else that needs wood? I give you a card, you can give it to them. That's what I do a lot, and I get a lot of referrals. I would say half the business I have is from referrals. And another point to bring up on referrals is if you do have good wood, if you provide good service, if you're a good guy or girl, making sure people get what they want and becoming a person that has a relationship with them as far as communicating about, you know, their family, their kids, their dogs, their horses, whatever it is they have. Ask a lot of questions, talk to people. Don't just be the guy that backs up, dumps the wood, and takes off. When I go to deliver wood, I ask questions all the time. If they got a new car in the driveway, I ask them about the car and how they like it and all that kind of stuff. If they got dogs, I ask them about the dogs. How old are the dogs? What kind of the dogs? How long have you had them? If there's kids around, I try to get the kids involved and ask the kids if they want to help, especially when it comes to unloading my trailer. Let them push the button on the dump trailer so they can have it go up and down. Whatever you can do to spend time with your customers and build a relationship with them as a friend, as just a regular person, besides someone that's just trying to take money from them, build up the relationship. It's huge. And this is a case of that made a big difference, because I didn't sell to this restaurant till about 2 years after I was delivering to this guy, and he had worked there because I think they had a supplier. And then he called me and says, yeah, you delivered wood to me, and he said, we need some wood, and a regular guy didn't call me back. Well, that left me an opening. So that's why you got to always be asking people for business. There's a rule in sales: always be closing, the ABC, always be closing, which means always ask for the sale. A lot of people never ask, so don't be afraid to ask if there's something more you can do for them. If you've got a lot of wood and you want to get rid of it and you've got customers that haven't ordered in a while, call them and ask for the sale. Call them and say, hey, I noticed you didn't order any wood this year. I've got quite a bit left. Would you like some? I can bring it today. I can bring it tomorrow. That kind of stuff. Okay, let's chuck some wood. Enough blabbering. There we go, another beautiful, beautiful load of wood in the truck. So this is ash and maple primarily. I didn't see hardly anything else besides ash and maple. Mostly ash, probably 3/4 ash and some maple. So down the road we go. While I'm here, I just backed up, and right here's where the wood goes, and yeah, they're out. That's all they got left is a few little sticks down there. So I put the wood right in here, and this is their smoker right here that they smoke the meat in. So this is the chamber back here where the wood goes, right there. So that's their firebox, and then the rest of it is right here. So I don't think there's anything in there right now because I'm here in the morning. So anyway, we're gonna fill that rack up right now. Empty, full. I used to be able to go back to that corner, but they put this other rack here and I can't really get in there, so I had to kind of stack some stuff on the ground. But there it is, face cord, third of cord, Rick Rank row. It's going in there eventually, and they're gonna make some delicious meat. Back to the woodyard we go. So I just got back from my delivery, and I thought I would clean out some of the debris because I've been delivering a lot. And truck is getting a bunch of bark and stuff in here, so I just thought I'd push it out. And some of you right now are saying, well, where's the blower, Chris? Where's the blower? Well, it's at home, because I took it there because my wife used it the other day. And so I'm just pushing all this stuff off into the pile back here just to get rid of it. Not that it needed to be done, but eventually it builds up, and we're supposed to get a big buttload of snow coming tomorrow, so I figured clean the back of the truck out because there's probably going to get some snow in here. I want to clean it out a little bit, let it dry out, and put my tonneau cover on. So we got that taken care of. There we go. Now I got something to tell you about. There, so I cleaned my bed of my truck out, and I'll put my tonneau cover on later today and let this dry out a little bit and maybe sweep it out once I get home. But I got all the chunks out anyway. So when I did my delivery that I just got back from, I went in to be paid, and I talked to the manager of the restaurant. This is a chain restaurant. They've got a lot of locations around the Midwest. Very successful operation they have there. They've been there for, I don't know, 20 years, something like that, quite a long time, maybe longer. And I asked him how things are going. He says, not good. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, since COVID, he said, it just never, they had to close during that. And he said, we just never really recovered. And he said, it's not getting better. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, we just don't have the business. And he said, all the restaurants around there, because he's over by the area where the mall is in our area here, and there's a lot of restaurants. And he said, there are 3 restaurants that are permanently closed within, you know, spitting distance of where they are, within a couple blocks, real close. And there's one right across from where they are that he said, he had just talked to the manager there, because they talk once in a while, and he said, they think they're gonna close. There's another restaurant on the other side of him that have cut back on their hours, just like this place did. He said, we are only open 5 days a week, and he said, we do 1 half day in there too. So it's just not good. And I said, what's the deal? He said, well, the economy. He said, people think the economy is good, but their costs, he said, have gone up 30 to 40% on everything. And this whole deal of having, they're talking about, you know, having minimum wage workers be paid $15 or $20 an hour. He said, it's never going to happen. He says, restaurants will just close. He says, we can't afford that. The cost of their materials they get for making food, he said, everything from meat to bakery goods to just their regular supplies, condiments, everything. He said, everything is up 20% on the lowest end to as much as 40%. And so that's hurting him. He said, but the other big thing is that people are not going out to eat very much. He said, we used to get really busy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sundays. And he said, no. He said, we got about half the staff we used to have. We just don't need that many people there. And he said, it doesn't look good. He's been there quite a while. I think he said he's been there almost like since the beginning, 20 some years. And he said, this is probably the last job he's going to have. He said, when we close, if we do, he said, this will be it for me. He says, I'm not going to continue anymore. I don't want to be involved in this. He said, it's not a good situation. And he said, it's like this industry-wide. And he said, no, there are some areas in the country that are probably doing great. And he said, traditionally, we have a very good market here because we have a very good base of both kinds of workforce. We have a lot of white-collar jobs available and a lot of blue-collar manufacturing type jobs. So generally, we're in a pretty good area, but he said it is not good. Getting people to come in and getting people to work and the cost of everything, it's not looking good. So I don't know how it is in your area, but it was interesting talking to him. He didn't sound too optimistic, so kind of a scary thing to hear from someone who's involved in the industry because even though people got to eat, they're not paying extra to go out to eat. So that's a thing. So anyway, I just thought to bring that up today, and that is it for today, folks. I got some other work to do. We're going to get a big storm tomorrow, so we're going to be moving some snow probably. So between now and then, go to my channel, watch the rest of the videos. There's 1,300 waiting for you. And when you get done with that, tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., I'll have another video for you. Good night, everyone.